Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Trails Through Trails, the podcast where normally we're talking about the Trails series chapter by chapter, game by game. But this week we are doing something a little bit different because we're between seasons. I am one of your hosts, Matt. I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Lex. I use she, her pronouns.
And today we have an extra special guest with us for this little bonus episode, Mischa Stanton. Hello, Mischa.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome on board.
Thank you for coming on. For listeners of our show, you may know I went over and guested on Simple and Clean with Mischa and Mayana a few months ago. Time is an illusion.
Yeah, time is an illusion. So much has happened since then in the Kingdom Hearts fandom. It's felt like lifetimes.
So we're glad you could make time to dig into a whole other universe of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
From roughly in the middle, which was a great place for us to get you to start.
Yeah.
But before we dive in, Mischa, would you like to tell our audience a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Mischa Stanton. I use they, them pronouns or Z-them pronouns if you're spicy. I'm a full-time podcast producer with the Multitude Podcast Collective, where I co-host Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast.
Woo.
And I'm also a sound designer and audio dramatist, and I also play TTRPGs into a microphone with sound effects sometimes, and that's fun too.
We are in fancy company today, folks.
And for anyone who listened to that episode of Run Simple Clean, you know I already love-bombed Mischa and Mayana about this, but it's kind of Mischa's fault that this podcast exists, because the first shows I ever listened to were audio dramas that they worked on, and that led me to D&D, which led me to gaming, which led me to here. So
that's crazy. That's wild.
Congratulations to the creator of this podcast.
You're welcome, and I'll take my royalties in the form of cash or check. Thank you.
What is 50% of zero?
Ooh, good question.
Let's do this thing!
Now, importantly, Mischa, one other question to ask is, how familiar are you with the Trails series of RPGs?
Well, Matt, I gotta tell you. So we had you on Simple and Clean to, every episode of Simple and Clean is a question about the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and the question we had you on to answer is, what is a JRPG? Mm-hmm. Which was a perfect match and a perfect bridge point between our two fandoms in our two shows. And I gotta tell you, researching what a JRPG is the first time I had ever heard of the Trails series, so... I apologize. I was a Final Fantasy girly first and foremost. In my later years, I've fallen in love with the Persona series. I'm currently midway through my first run of Metaphor ReFantasio, having a great time.
Hell yeah.
Game.
So Trails just sort of escaped my notice.
And that is part of the reason we had you on for this episode specifically.
Oh, great. Good. Thank God.
We haven't mentioned this at all yet. We probably should have. But today we're reacting to the Trails in the Sky OVA that was made in 2011-2012, which was kind of a celebration of the first two games coming out.
Kind of.
It's 2 40-minute episodes.
Oh, is it 2 40-minute episodes? That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just kind of mushed it into a movie for the release that we watched, yeah.
Gotcha.
And given that these are two pretty long games, that means that they are seriously abridged, to say the least.
Yeah.
And we thought it would be really fun to, instead of just going in and us as like people who know the games they're based on really, really well, talking about comparing them, to actually see what this experience is like to someone who has no idea about these games or what the story is or anything, and kind of see what you think is going on if that happens, what stands out, what impressions you get about the games that are right or totally wrong, and kind of like do a compare and contrast instead of just analyze it from a fan perspective.
Okay.
So I guess that'll lead me into the question, what do you think is happening in that 2-episode story?
Yeah, wow. So what it seems like is happening to me is that there's a world progressing rapidly through technology that it doesn't quite understand how to grapple with day to day. And specifically in a military sense, as a tenuous peace threatens to come undone over war technologies, and specifically following a group of, they're not mercenaries because they work for the state, right? So they're like, I don't know what you call it. They're a squad.
Yeah.
They're a squad. They're called bracers. I learned that much. I watched the beginning.
Gotcha.
So there's a squad of bracers, and they're out investigating what different forces might threaten this piece. And specifically, it seems like the main character, Estelle, is looking for her friend Joshua, who used to be a bracer with her and now is not, and something happened to him, but she wants to find him, but that's kind of secondary to the mission she's on.
Honestly,
That's pretty good.
You've hit the nail most of the way on the head from that.
Hell
so
yeah!
I'm impressed.
You can't see it, but I'm dabbing.
I'm pretty impressed. Now, do you have any idea how Estelle and Joshua know each other, what their background is, anything beyond what you said? Not that you necessarily should. I will be impressed if you do, based on this experience. But what do you think that relationship is or was before this picks up?
For a while, I thought they were bracers together, and that she was somehow related to the blue-haired girl that was talking to Joshua in that flashback. We'll get to it, I'm sure. But then it didn't ever seem to really meet up that way, so I guess that's not the answer. So no.
It's half right.
Okay.
This movie was interesting because it claims to be a retelling or covering the story of Trails in the Sky first chapter, the first game, and Trails in the Sky second chapter, second game. Shocker.
Right, got it. Wow, wait, hold on, I'm sorry. You have to run that one by me again. The games that have different, sequential numbers come in a linear order?
Yeah, look, I know it's confusing because they originally went first chapter, second chapter, the third, and now in the remake they're going onced chapter, tuned chapter, and we don't have to remake the third one.
There wasn't a chain of memories in the middle, or a 358 by 2 days or nothing?
Not yet, we do those later on.
Man, you guys are lucky.
That's 8 games in, yeah.
It's okay. Soon they're going to drop the numbers and just have different names that have no clear overarching connection as to what's first or second, and everyone's going to start playing them in the wrong order. So at least there's going to be that.
Drop the end bit. Just Trails. It's neater.
Yeah, Trails End Game is coming.
So we're going to have a duology and a quadrology that take place in parallel, but also not exactly. And so everyone plays it in a weird machete order because no one has any idea what order it is unless you've already played the game and know from the game what order the story goes in.
Absolutely classic.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of familiar elements between these two series, even if it doesn't look like it at the front.
Oh, and they didn't localize the middle series of games, so we also had some fun publishing order wrongness too, to spice it up.
Great. So coming into this movie, feeling like I missed several episodes, that's just par for the course then.
Pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely, because even though it claims to be the first and second game, it's one scene from the end of the first game and then the middle of the second game. It's the middle third of the game is what's being told in this animation.
Gotcha. Awesome.
So yeah, the fact that you got so much context out of what little they said and everything they didn't say, impressive. Because also in this translation, they change to synonyms for most of the referential names for things. So in this one, the Bracer Guild is called the Bracer Association for some reason, even though the building says guild on the front. And then the bad guys are referred to as the organization, which may be a familiar term, as opposed to the society.
Yes, that made me raise my eyebrows. I was like, I feel like Matt would have mentioned this.
I was so happy when it happened because I'm like, oh my god, now that they're the organization, they're an organization of numbered people with special titles and specialized weapons each.
And Joshua's number 13!
And he's number 13. And he's the best one.
I was so excited.
Yeah, this is, just for reference for yourself, this is a group of people, the Society's enforcers, not the Legion like they call them in this series, but the enforcers, there's at least 15 of them, and we haven't met all of them or gotten all of their names or titles or what they do yet. So even 13 games in, another 13, we don't know all of these people and they're still a big mystery. So it's like Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts, but they just kind of never finished paying it off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We've learned more, but there's still a lot of mystery.
So it's still that addictive rush of discovering a new person title.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what's funny about this is from all my research, this dub was handled just by completely different people than the localizations for the games were. So there was no crossover, no cross-referencing into how it was localized before. And this came out I think a year after the first game was translated into English, so it's not as though this predated the localization completely.
Weirdly, it's actually the other way around, because I was trying to check the timeline for all of this. So this is mostly about Sky's second chapter, which originally came out on PC in 2006, then PSP in 2007, and then the version that we got in English wasn't until like 2013?
It was around the same time they were all in development, but they were just in parallel, so not cross-referencing the terminology at all.
The team who made this animation, Kinema Citrus, were hot off doing a .hack OVA right before this.
Oh, sure.
This was like a few years into their career, but they were made up of people from Production IG and Bones. Bones, I know, do a lot of cool-looking animation these days. Production IG did a lot of game stuff.
Yeah, so Bones also made one of my favorite animes, Full Metal Alchemist, and I did notice a lot of similarities in like the fight choreography between Full Metal Alchemist and this movie.
Yeah, I have to say the fight choreo was maybe my favorite part of this, because I've seen a lot of like RPG adaptation stuff, like the Tales of game ones come to mind especially, where it's a lot of the fights will be they hit them with the weapon and then the enemy just kind of evaporates. So there's no real fight choreo. But in this, it was sick.
No, the fights were good.
That's the one thing I knew going in, was that everyone said, it's not very good, but the fight choreo is great.
Okay.
When one of the characters whips a worm's head off, yeah, really personified all of the characters and sort of what their energy is in the games to feel distinct. Like, I feel like we should maybe go through sequentially before I jump ahead to naming everybody, because I'm still curious to learn how much you got from this.
Oh, man. Names beyond those two. Ooh, boy. Hooey.
Yeah, it's tough.
Hey, pay attention.
So let's kind of do like a rush job run through of what key points we cover in the story here and just kind of what cool stuff happens, because there's more cool stuff than story happening for the most part.
Yeah.
We get a really brief intro of Josh and Estelle smooching.
We get a preamble first. A very, very cheesy, overdramatic, like, monologue preamble explaining this world in very dramatic terms.
Yeah, very much like any anime with intrinsic, like, expansive world building that needs to get off on the right foot right away. Or, for example, that really awkward narration they shoved at the front of Blade Runner.
Yeah, it's really rough. But I like how the guy says, and we invented technology, orbment. Just to really sell that orbment is the word we have to remember.
Right, so that's actually going to be my first question. So orbment is technology, right? It's like clockwork machinery?
Orbment is basically materia from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, great, got it. Copy that.
Except they use it for all sorts of things, and they go into more depth about, like, how they used it for industrialization and not just how it's used in combat in the games, but it's basically materia.
Yeah, the sense I got was the industrialization part.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So in this world, the thing you mined out of the ground is sepith, which are different elemental crystals. You refine those into quartz, which are materia. And then that's just kind of a perpetual energy source that no one really understands, but it works. So we just use it. And then they invent things like car and street lamp and airship.
And tank.
And tank. Yes.
Orbment is like electronic, basically, the way they use it, including, like, they call things like orbal mail instead of emails, right? When they just invent that.
Okay, that's goofy. I like that.
Or, like, orbital guns, which electric guns doesn't really work, but, like, so they put it in front of everything.
Yeah.
Orbital razor instead of electronic, like, they just use it for everything, basically. It's very goofy, but it's...
Orbital dance music.
Pretty much.
Honestly, yeah. They have pop stars in the series now, so that is actually true.
Yeah.
They invent heavy metal in a few games, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it when we got to somewhere in the second game, you get to the factory where most of this technology comes from, and there's literally a book that's like, hey, we found these rocks and they make electricity, and it works, but we don't really get why or how. Anyway, end of technical manual.
It's really fun.
Because then you've got storylines where they're inventing motorbikes for the first time, but then also there's a side quest where you have to go buy the latest microwave.
50 years before the game starts, a guy discovers how to make all this stuff work, tells a few people a few instructions, and then dies immediately. So everyone has some how-to manuals, but no one has the theory behind it, basically.
His name is Professor Epstein, but we make sure to pronounce it the other way.
Do you want a dark age? Because that's how you get a dark age.
Pretty much. So, right, we were going to actually recap this story, and then we got stuck on the preamble.
I have a lot of notes, but I didn't really keep track of the factual events of the story because I was just vibing.
So we start with a scene between Joshua and Estelle that players of the game might recognize as the very last scene from the first game. And that's where we start, which is a wild storytelling decision.
It's where they start, but they also don't explain what's happening in any sense.
No, not at all.
I got the sense that it was some kind of boss battle that there had been lead up to, because all of the characters seem very invested in what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of after the big final battle where we fought Ancient Technology Monster, and then you're having what you think is going to be a love confession scene on a roof of a castle. Estelle walks up to Joshua and says, I want to confess my feelings. And he's like, hey, I really love you. Smooch. JK LOL, I was wearing poison ivy, poison lipstick.
Yes.
That's going to make you get knocked out. And then I'm going to run away because I've got self-worth issues and I have a backstory. Should we tell the backstory now, do you think, Lex, or do we save it?
We can, I think, tell it, but I think it's worth noting that the way the scene plays out in the game is Josh explains his backstory and then kisses Estelle and then runs off. But they cut out the backstory part from this just to make it more confusing. Like, they just do the kiss. The story, you learned some of it late in the OVA when Louve, as he's called in the games, Lo as he's called here, talks about the village they come from. Essentially what happens after that is they get taken in by the organization, the society, and Joshua is just like this traumatized, nonverbal child at this point, and basically gets programmed out of that by being programmed into being a child assassin. Spends a while as a child assassin, then gets sent on a mission to assassinate somebody who turns out to be Estelle's dad and also the greatest warrior in the continent. Loses, and Estelle's dad decides to adopt this kid. And he somehow kind of loses all his memories for a bit until right before this scene where he kisses Estelle, where he's suddenly gotten all his memories back of his life before he met Estelle and her dad.
Oh.
So yeah, you didn't get any of that? You didn't pick up all of that from the subtle acting?
Well, I got a bunch of that later in the flashback, but I didn't get the part where he only received those memories back right before that kiss scene. That's some context.
Yeah, I got it that afternoon. And this is the first time he's seen Estelle since, so it's just right like that.
Oh my god.
So he gives his backstory, hey, I'm an assassin, I tried to kill your dad, and then I've been living with myself, like kind of hating myself but not knowing why a little bit for most of my life until I remembered why, and now I do hate myself. So I'm going to leave, and instead of being part of the family, I'm going to go hunt down the organization and try and stop that.
Oh, yes. And all the time that he didn't have his memory, he was still unknowingly reporting on Estelle and her dad to the organization. But he didn't remember doing that either. So he's all messed up about it. He's all edgelord about it.
You're telling me number 13 in the organization loses all his memories and then has to turn coat against the organization and go back and track them down and fight them? I thought this was a Trails podcast, not a Kingdom Hearts podcast.
We just want you to feel at home.
Yeah, I do. Thank you so much. I'm so comfy here. Ooh, it's so nice.
And I think what's funny, too, is this game, the first game comes out very close in time to the first Kingdom Hearts game, right? Because this comes out in 2004. Kingdom Hearts is 2002, I think?
Yeah, the thing I'm talking about is 2006, but yes.
Oh, so this predates it. Wow.
It was right on. It's something in the air, something in the ether.
You've been running a Trails podcast this whole time and you didn't even know it.
There must have been another special elevator ride between the Kingdom Hearts officers and the Trails officers where they're like, hey, we should do a secret crossover.
Yeah.
All video game concepts are made in elevator rides with random strangers. Everybody knows this.
It's so true.
As I'm given to understand, yeah. So after we have that half of a cutscene from the last game to introduce the movie, we skip like the first third of the game entirely, where Estelle's really sad about Josh having left. Goes home, finds his harmonica, that harmonica that's really important the entire time.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea what was going on with the harmonica, by the way? Because it's given a lot of attention, but never that I noticed explained.
Not really. I mean, I got the sense that, like, because Estelle cared about it, it had something to do with her friendship with Joshua, because that's kind of her vibe in the whole movie, but I didn't I was like, oh, did they used to be in a bluegrass band together? I don't know.
Can you imagine? That'd be amazing. That's my new canon.
we skip an entire character in this movie, which is Kevin, the kind of cool sneaker-loving priest who saves Estelle from her shell shock, takes her home to her village and sets her on the path to go finding Joshua, which she does while working as a bracer. We got that context. Well done.
Yep.
Bracers are kind of like the ideal of like community policing, I guess is how I would say it. Like a platonic ideal where like it's not corrupt, everyone's good, and it's like an international nonprofit organization devoted to like protecting civilians from violence, basically.
Yeah, sure. Field marshals. Yeah, I got the sense.
Yeah, they're kind of independent from the government, and they have a bunch of rules where they can't interfere directly with government stuff unless it, breaches these particular conditions, first do no harm kind of stuff.
Mm.
And so they just kind of go around being handyman. It's anything from eliminate monsters to help me find my lost kitten.
Yeah.
Sure, kind of like Witchers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, then we skip to a boss fight against a giant mechanical centaur with no explanation.
Yeah.
Right, this was the boss fight I was talking about.
Yeah. For players of the game, this is at the end of chapter 1. So there's a prologue chapter that's fairly long, and then a chapter 1. At the Jenna's Royal Academy, you fight a boss, and that's the point that we're skipping to. So we've got Biblon instead of Bleu Blanc is running this boss fight, and you're thrown in the middle of it with no explanation about anything that's going on.
Cool fight, though. I do really like the fight choreography throughout this.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was missing context to enjoy the fight scene. I was like, oh yeah, this is a squad, and they're fighting a guy, for sure.
I'd love to hear more thoughts on the fight choreography, because I'm somebody who's not very good at assessing fight choreo because I'm very bad at tracking motion on screens. So I don't like it. I don't pick up on everything that's going on. So I'd love to hear a little more on what you think makes good fight choreo in an anime.
Yeah, I think that and I think Bones does this well of giving each character distinct movement styles during fights that, Estelle, because she wields a quarterstaff, she was sort of very rolly, cartwheely in a way that you twirl a quarterstaff. That the flowing garments of Scheherazade is her name.
Yeah.
Sort of lean into the way she wields a whip. That the character design and the choice in how they move thematically resonated with the style of combat that they use during combat.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Also, as a side note for Shara, having the whip as a weapon, I don't think I've ever really thought of a whip as a cool weapon, in how it looks in RPGs.
Oh.
But they really sell it here. At points, I think mostly in a later fight, where she's just non-stop whipping at grunt enemies, then wraps her whip around one of the big guy's heads and rips it off with her whip. I'm like, okay, sick.
See, back when I worked at the Renaissance Fair, I worked the stage for the whip guy, and so I am well aware of how awesome whips are.
Awesome.
We once had as a guest, the world record holder for fastest whip.
Oh.
And he, came and did an expo for it, and I was terrified and slightly aroused.
Yeah, I wanted to get your perspective on that because that is kind of your bag, and I was like, I gotta get some opinions here. I gotta get some expertise.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, based on that, then we've kind of touched on Estelle and Shara. For the other two party members, I'd be interested to see what you thought the vibe of them was. So you've got Close, aka Chloe,
the princess, right?
Mm-hmm. With the purple hair.
Yes.
What was her vibe from what you saw of her in combat?
I have to remember. I don't know if I got a good vibe of her.
She gets very little.
Also, do they ever show her using her weapon?
Yeah, maybe they don't.
I think they show her casting a spell in a half second, but they don't show a weapon, just the fact that she uses an ice spell at one point.
Yeah, she's the mage from... I got big Sailor Mercury vibes from her.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, the hair definitely helps her, but for sure, she's, game-wise, she's more magic-focused, but she also has a fencing sword and a bird.
Yes. A bird she is telepathically connected to.
Bird? Was that in the movie?
No.
Okay.
No, I think he appears in one tracking shot.
Okay, good. I was about to feel like I was going insane.
No, she has this fancy falcon that's also the emblem of the country that she can talk to because she has bird telepathy because she's a princess.
Sure.
It's great.
She can talk. Yeah, much like Disney princesses, they have a special kinship with birds. Gotcha.
Yep, it's great. Every character in the game is very excited and freaked out when they discover she has bird telepathy. They don't just go, okay, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I will say about the magic in that boss fight, when there's a close-up shot where they're like introducing you to the magic system and how it works, where they like take out a locket that has like it looks like a gesture-based thing, and she like draws a rune between the crystals and it does a specific thing. I was like, that's cool. I want to know everything about that.
That was really cool.
Yeah, this is actually maybe better representation than in the games. Like, yeah, the thing she has, the magical pocket watch, is her orbment. It's what lets them cast spells, and the little dots set in it are different quartz, which in the games, basically you have your individual orbments, they're all different for each other, where they have specific chains that they're connected in, and depending on which like elements you put in a chain, you get access to higher level element spells.
Right.
So having her then open it up and sort of trace the path to the spell where she was wanting to use is really cool, because they don't do that in the games. They just kind of hold it and it's like, magic time.
And to be perfectly honest, like I saw that once, and I don't know if they ever really do a close-up shot like that again, but like you see that in the very beginning, you're like, I got it. I get how this magic system works. We can move on. It was like very efficient visual storytelling.
Oh, and our last party member in this fight was Olivier, the guy in the white and blue coat.
I don't think he's ever named in it. Do they ever say his name out loud?
Not now, at least. They do a couple times later, yeah.
Okay.
The Ponzi pacifist guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know his name, but I knew every time he talked.
I think that covers what vibe you got from him too, Ponzi pacifist.
Yeah, he gave big, like, Sokka energy, you know, like, I can't do anything, but I will try to do something!
That's true.
Yeah.
So he's our game's bisexual demon twink.
Okay.
Who's just kind of into everybody and the concept of love.
Sure, I have one of those in Metaphor Fantasia. Great. We love a bisexual demon twink.
Everyone needs one.
Fantastic. I love him. The voice acting put me off a little bit, because this is not the same voice cast as has been in old or new versions of these games. Who is it who voices him? It's
Matt Mercer. It used to be Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Sure.
So this is neither of those guys, and both of them can sell like horny monster man really, really well. Cool. So we have a big fight. We have the robot centaur, and then a guy with a mask who's also the villain, who sounds like an annoyed teen as opposed to a ridiculous theater nerd the way he normally does. Biblanc.
And he's just there.
He's just there.
And I don't think we see him again after this scene either.
No.
Though he does introduce, I guess, the idea of the organization into the story here, and hits on Close.
I got the sense that in like 6 episodes, he was going to come back and have a plot where they do something. You know, like this felt like episodes like 6 and 7 of a series, of like an ongoing anime series. Yeah.
It did.
Sorry, wait, I'll say different numbers. Hold on. It felt like episode like 8 and 9 of like an ongoing anime series that I hadn't seen.
It was really interesting too how it didn't feel like a 2-part like miniseries or movie. Like it really felt like it was setting stuff up for later.
Yeah.
Because they didn't make anything before or after. It was just these 2 episodes.
And even knowing the plot of the game, I was kind of like, wait, where are we jumping to? Because we do bounce around pretty quickly. This game is a lot more like slow-paced when you're running around an entire country on foot, as opposed to cutting to the next scene. But yeah, they've got everyone working together in this fight. Everyone's got their cool spell moments. We get kind of a tableau of what the party's capable of. And then afterwards, we're back at the guild house where everyone's kind of winding down. I loved the shot of Estelle getting into bed, looking at her harmonica morosely, and then tucking herself into bed and accidentally knocking it off and smacking herself in the head. That was a great character moment for me. Just she's a pseudo mercenary traveling the country, but she's also like 17. She's just a kid.
Yeah, she really like joined the army to see the world, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, they really love to, in this OVA especially, undercut her serious moments with a really, like, a visual gag of some kind or some real, like, goof up of hers. They do that a lot, which is, like, a regular comedic beat they hit for her.
In that way, it was also Sailor Moon energy.
Yeah, she's got very Sailor Moon energy.
Yeah, next morning she's running late for the airship with an implied slice of toast still in her mouth, as everyone else is waiting for her, even though she's the leader of the troop. And we travel on to Elmo Village, a new location.
Wait, hold on, go back. She's the leader of the troop, not Scheherazade?
Ah.
So Shira has seniority. They make her the leader in this game because she's, like, the most personally invested in it, and she's already, like, had a full game of, like, developing her leadership skill. Yeah. They bridge a lot of stuff, but technically, at this point, they've all said you're leading this group, Estelle.
Okay, I did not get that sense at all. That's fine.
Oh.
I didn't either, to the point that I'm not sure they kept that as the canon for the OVA.
And very briefly, they call her Shara, not her full name. I've been legal, full naming her.
Both happen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it goes back and forth. It's like a familiarity thing. So in the context of the games, she's a few years older than Estelle and Joshua, and sort of grew up in the same town. Also pseudo-adopted by Estelle's dad because she had a backstory and now she's a bracer.
Oh, okay.
This is what Estelle's dad does. He adopts any child with trauma that he encounters.
Gotcha.
He's kind of a menace like that.
Like a Bruce Wayne type, I see.
Yep, he's a happy Bruce Wayne.
It's true. Shara's kind of played the role of older sister, and then as they went into the Bracer Guild to sort of train to be bracers, she was their mentor, kind of educating them on the job.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got the impression more that Shara was the leader, and Estelle was what,
yeah,
number 2?
Part of the gang,
Oh.
that Shara was very much the team leader, was giving the orders.
That makes sense. She is kind of the grounded voice of reason every time Estelle's being a 17-year-old. So
yeah. That's why, I didn't think Estelle was in charge. Also, because, of course, the character from 1001 Arabian Nights, but, I'm a big Magic the Gathering player, and Scheherazad's a very famous card as well, so I've been full naming her in my mind.
Respect on the name. That's fair.
She has a great full name. Yeah, but also, I did notice, they did put a lot of emphasis on this game. The guild has called us and deployed us to this next location that we're going to travel to. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the games, it's a little more like, well, this seems like the logical next place for us to go. But I think because the anime needs to skip a lot of, the steps of the journey, and combine them, they use the guild's deploying us here as kind of a shorthand to, quickly get people from city A to city C.
You don't want to have a million scenes where they beat up, an ooze in the middle of the road or, like a mangy wolf or something?
You gotta play the game for that.
Not enough of that. There should have been a whole middle episode just of that. I would have loved it.
But we are going to get a lanky wolf soon.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh, first though, we go to Zeiss and meet Tita and the rest of the party that never gets introduced.
Yeah, they went to HQ to get their missives, and the guy talking about technology was really boring, and she fell asleep. As soon as they panned away from her in that shot, I was like, they're gonna pan back and she's gonna be asleep, and then she was, and I felt really good. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, good anime, good job.
We've got a professor, we've got a little girl named Teoh with a funny hat. What's Tita's vibe? Mischa, what do you reckon?
Who?
The little blonde girl.
Oh, I didn't clock her as an important character.
Oh no.
I was just like, oh, that's another person at the HQ, cool. And they talk to her and they're gonna, I don't know, she just sort of faded into the rest of the cast of whoever else was at that HQ for me. I didn't get a good sense. I don't know.
Oh, she's a party member, Teoh.
Neat.
She's a 12-year-old orbment genius.
With a bazooka.
Was the bazooka in the movie?
Briefly. They showed her holding it, and then they showed a missile getting shot, and then didn't directly associate the two.
Oh, yeah. If I had seen that part, I would have been like the girl with the bazooka.
Yeah, they messed up by not showing it clearly.
I'm realizing how much of this I understood only because I've played.
Yeah.
This is why we need to hear from you. This is why we need to know what actually it gets communicated without having played 80 hours of this story.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a party member, the boring professor is her grandpa, and that's the reason why she's the only person staying up with rapt attention while all the other bracers fall asleep listening to his plan about the earthquake machines. Mm-hmm. Which is the problem this time. We have earthquake machines causing earthquakes.
Yes.
And we gotta stop them.
Estelle and Tina also grab ice cream. They skip the end of this thing to get ice cream and meet another little girl with purple hair.
Oh, yes. That, I think, also was why I got confused, because I met two little girls in rapid succession and then couldn't really tell them apart.
Very fair.
She's fine. She's probably a normal little girl and we don't need to worry about her. She just has purple hair and is wearing a Lolita dress in the middle of the day on Tuesday.
Many such cases.
Many such cases.
So we get told, this is the plan, we're going to disable these machines, don't destroy them. Then we go to Elmo Village where the hot spring is so we can have our hot spring episode where we show a lot in the baths, I noticed.
Yeah.
from an opening shot of Olivier's crotch to every shot of the girls having full body silhouettes under the water, which I was surprised at. And then also a full frontal nude moment of Estelle for a brief second halfway through.
Yeah.
Barbie doll mode, thank God. But still crazy.
Yeah, and how old is Estelle again?
16, 17.
Cool. Awesome. Good. Cool.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's weird.
No,
it's bad.
It's an odd moment. I could have done without it. I appreciate it wasn't more sexualized in a way that a lot of anime would do. It was more evocative than representative. But still, I didn't need to get a full under-the-water outline of Estelle and Chloe's blembos when they are in high school.
Me neither.
I feel like we had so much other stuff to cover. You know what I mean? Like we spent time on that.
Yeah, look, if we'd gone back to a shot of the men's side and we'd seen full outlining of them as well, at least would have felt like equality. But I guess you got to get people in the seats to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway. There's another earthquake, a thing that doesn't happen in the games, that actually interrupts their baths. In the game, you just kind of hear about earthquakes, and then you stop them. So I like that they have this moment where it actually directly affects them by blasting the baths.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good, it's a good impetus to leave the hot spring and go back to the adventure.
Which we desperately need them to do at this point. Like, from a personal standpoint, we're desperate for the scene to end.
And does kind of thematically link in because the dungeon that you go to for this boss fight is like behind the gully works for the hot springs. Like that's why it's directly influencing the hot springs because it's an earthquake in the hot water channels under the earth or whatever.
Right.
So we go into a very cool looking cave. I loved how detailed the paintings of this like multi-tiered sort of slagged cavern from all the steam and sort of condensation of these hot springs. And we meet another bad guy, a guy in a suit with glasses.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this man?
Like, guy was up to stuff and seemed very pleased with himself.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get the sense he was really very concerned for other people's safety.
Not so much.
Why was he doing the earthquakes?
Good question.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I mean, there were like crystal mines in there. There was like a crystal cavern. He was trying to access the power inside the crystals is what I assumed, but I never really got a great sense of like, and I will use it for this plan, for this reason, for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna poke it and see what happens.
So late in the OVA, they make it allusion to we only have one more experiment left to do. And they don't explain that at all, and there's no context really for it. What that is that all of this is, and what happens with the mist later, and the setup for what happened at the school with the first boss fight that also we don't really know much about. All of these are experiments that the organization is doing with like this new piece of technology they've acquired. Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of one of those.
Right. They're testing the earthquake machine, and it happens to be here.
Yeah, they have this thing, the gospel, which is like an ancient orbment that's like a black box, so they can't open it and see what happens, but somehow they've tried to clone it, and then they're just kind of like, and what can we do with this?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Gen AI of Trails in the Sky. It's like, we invented this thing and we don't really understand, so let's just stick it in some stuff and see what happens.
Wreak havoc.
And one of the things it can do is make earthquakes in a mine, or...
For sure.
I don't know, draw Obama's face on something.
Pretty
or
much.
something robot centaur, question mark.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
yeah.
So yes, we get this cool fight. I really love Walter's energy here. They do misname him. He is the lanky wolf in this animation. Right. In the actual games, he is Walter the Dire Wolf, which is a much better title.
Oh, in that it's like an actual thing that is a thing that you can call people? Yeah.
Not only is it an actual thing, but lanky wolf sounds like just an insult.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Walter the Tall Fucker. Like, why would you call yourself that?
The tall, skinny fucker.
Yeah, like, hi, I'm Walter the Starving. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
The underfed.
Yeah.
I'm Walter of the malnutrition.
Now, this fight is interesting because they kind of rewrite it entirely from the game because they've almost excluded another party member. Have you spotted anyone else in the background, say, of the briefing about the technology who would have been a party member, Mischa?
No. I should also maybe say for your audience that I've been pretty sick the past couple days, so when I watched it, my brain was at maybe 70%.
You are more than okay.
Okay.
Also, there is nothing to draw your attention to this character, who is one of the main party members in the games.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Like for everybody listening, I don't hate your favorite characters. I just didn't notice them.
You're fine.
So there was a tall guy with a purple shirt in that briefing. He's in the party.
Okay.
He's a martial artist. We do get a brief shot of him when all the other people are deployed to the sub-earthquake machines in other locations. He's the guy who, against the advice of the professor, just kicks the machine until it stops working.
Classic move.
Yeah. He's a martial artist, and kick is solve. So he kicks the machine and then gives a thumbs up to Annalise, the other character in that scene with him.
Who's also not named.
Never mentioned by name, never has a voiced line, and is a major character, but not necessarily a party member.
Awesome. You gotta tell me when there's characters I'm supposed to pay attention to, movie. Come on.
Big glowing arrow, yeah. So he is named Zin, or in the mistranslation and probably this version, Zane, which is definitely an Eastern martial artist's name. He and Walter, the lanky wolf, actually have a backstory because they come from the same martial artist school. So in the games, this was a big climactic re-meeting of them after their sensei was murdered by Walter many years ago. They don't tell you any of this.
No.
Because they replace it with Joshua, basically. Joshua comes to the rescue instead.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they have a great hand-to-hand combat scene while Joshua's got swords, but
they do.
Walter's fight choreo is great here. I love how much he's like, hands in pockets, because he's like the leader of the death fist martial art. So the fact that he reserves his punches, and then when he does, every time it's got like a huge, boom effect around it. I like that they sold that, even if, again, they didn't tell you anything about what was going on.
Yeah, well, I like that because it also gives him like a casual stance that makes him feel very in charge of the situation. That like Joshua was like doing a lot of moves and had to expend a lot of effort, and like Walter was just very cool and collected about it. It gave a good vibe to the fight there as well.
Yeah, you could definitely tell like who was under pressure in that fight and who was just chilling.
Also, Josh, really great that he's very acrobatic, he's very fast, he's very flippy, but he's also throwing himself at the problem in a pretty reckless way. Like he just kind of like launches at Walter and every enemy he fights throughout this OVA with reckless abandon.
Yeah, that drew my eye, and the fact that he never, like, he's always like, I have to do my own thing. Like, he like, intentionally never consults any of the rest of the team, who are clearly there to fight the same guy he's there to fight. Like, you're clearly both there to fight this guy. Just work together. Like, don't get in each other's way,
This is the edgelord Joshua arc.
Sure.
Where I'm such a loner, I ruin everything I touch, I can't speak to anyone, and this is the most 17-year-old boy thing about Joshua. Really.
And no, I think the most 17-year-old boy thing about him is that all of that, and his name's Joshua.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to be an edgelord when your name is Josh. Like, I'm sorry to the Joshes out there, but like, I'm not going to take it very seriously. You got to do something.
This has been maybe the crowning part of this entire experience for me, is that he's exclusively referred to as Joshua in the games, and from episode 1 of this podcast, I just automatically started calling him Josh, because, I don't know, it's an Australian thing, we shorten everything.
No, for sure.
So he just automatically became Josh.
Well, I'm Jewish, so when I was growing up, I went to 5 kids named Josh's bar mitzvah, so like, I can't...
Yeah, I'm Josh A. It was great because the first time his name gets mentioned, it's Josh, and my face lit up in the room.
I wrote Matt Vindication and then highlighted it and bumped up the font size to like 20 in my notes.
It's molto bene. Everyone calls him Josh throughout the thing because it's so much more ridiculous to call him Josh.
Everyone.
I'd only ever seen a clip of one of the final fights of this movie before where he does get called Josh, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so looking forward to that moment when they finally say it, and then just every 5 seconds, Josh, Josh, Josh. It warmed my heart.
It's great. But yeah, so we continue on this fight, and then eventually the stakes go up a little bit. Some things seem to shift. Another person enters the playing field, or rather another object, because it's like a giant mech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The little Gothic Lolita girl, Ren, shows up with a big robot. And this, I'm sure, made a lot of sense.
It didn't not make sense, mostly because the first scene was also a fight where a robot entered the scene with no context, so I was just like, yeah, that's just what happens here.
I like that they're actually just setting expectations.
Yeah, they set expectations and they matched it. I didn't question anything.
Amazing.
So this is Pater-Mater, father-mother, Ren's personal robot and replacement parent.
Gotcha.
And
And you learn all about her various backstories in the previous game near Pater-Mater. Thank you so much.
yeah, this is where we learn that Ren is Enforcer or Legion number 15 of the society / organization. And was just playing a part when she got ice cream with Estelle earlier. Because she's actually part of all this.
Oh, wait, those were the same... Wait, I'm sorry, those were the same girl?
Yes.
Yes, the little girl Estelle runs into and then takes out for ice cream because she, knocked over her earlier ice cream or something. That's the same girl who shows up here.
I definitely knew about the little girl with the mech who was number 15. I did not put together that it was the same girl from the ice cream scene.
Well, there are 2 little girls in the ice cream scene, so it can get confusing.
That's what I mean. I got them so confused.
Girl-child blindness, it affects us all.
So many girl childs.
And all of them just look like Anya from Spy Family. I can't keep them straight.
She also gets a different title to what she has in the games. Here she's the Angel of Extermination, whereas in the games she's Angel of Slaughter, which I do think is cooler with the scythe as a weapon and everything.
Yeah.
It's no lanky wolf, but it's still a different take.
Well, because, historically, angels do slaughter. There are angels of war that, bless battlefields. But, angel of extermination, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but, when I hear extermination, I hear insects. And I'm like, the angel of pest control? I don't know.
It feels a little more like mechanical or chemical as a term, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it feels like a process.
Yeah, like an industrialized killing, not just for the love of the blood.
Yeah, like slaughter is a force of nature that happens, and an angel can be that.
An angel of death is a term you hear, and slaughter feels more connected to like a more violent word for that.
Mm-hmm. And also, you know what they say? Can't spell slaughter without laughter.
And she's having a great time.
She's having a great time.
I'll also call out that Pater-Mater, the way they've rendered it looks sick. This early 2010s 3D 2D animation they used to do for complex objects, it's just hitting the sweet spot for me. It's just detailed enough and just in style enough that it looks it stands out in the scene, but not like when Futurama did 3D shots. It blends in seamlessly, and I'm just very happy about it.
Yeah, we were right on the precipice, I feel of 3D anime really figuring it out. I don't know if y'all have seen works by Studio Orange. They did Land of the Lustrous and also the most recent Trigun adaptation. Man, I was put off by the style at first just looking at screenshots, but that Trigun adaptation is so good. They really figured out how to do 3D anime now. And this felt in a line between the CGI use in Avatar: The Last Airbender through to that style. This felt like another dot on the line.
Yeah, and that spot where we were in between waves of it looking really bad. You can watch some early 2010s movies, and despite how basic the animation is, it looks as good as now, if not better. Cough, cough, Marvel Studios.
Yeah, well, it turns out that's a function of how much time and money you give the animators, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought?
Woof. But we will just rattle along in the story because there's no time for breaks or catharsis in this story.
No, we got 2 hours. We gotta cover a whole movie. We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta move. So I don't even remember how Walter ends up knocked out, but Ren picks him up to take him off.
Oh, that's right. This is where the missile comes in because Tita from up on a high shelf shoots a missile off screen and then runs away again. So that was her moment of being in the fight.
Got it. I wish I had known that was what that was. Yeah, I thought they were fighting and something broke in the cave and something, something exploded. I don't know.
I also didn't really follow what was happening there.
Yeah, it's kind of left a bit ambiguous. Oh, Walter also fights Estelle at one point, throws her off the side of a cliff. Josh rescues her, and then has no conversation with her before he returns to the fight with Walter because he's too busy in his live journal era.
Yeah. Also,
I will just call out the one coolest moment of the fight with Joshua and Walter is when at one point Walter blocks his swords with a kick and uses the underside of his boot to block a blade, and that's just fucking cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I like a boot as a weapon. Like, obviously, very well done recently with Deku. Deku from My Hero Academia has great boots as weapons. I'm a big fan of, like, kicks, but make it, like, the power set.
Yeah.
Which is nice considering it's his secondary ability because he put all his points in punch.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
And it's great to see when he finally does unleash the punch that, like, whoa, he was holding back that whole time.
Yeah.
Got some force behind it.
Classic anime moment.
Anyway, next fight. We're on to a new location with Josh, who retitles himself. He's Legion 13, the Black Fang.
Oh, we've also missed all the airship blue hair people stuff. There's been like multiple sightings of them that we just have not touched on. Do you have any idea who those people are, Mischa?
No, were they not different other bracers that they were hanging out with?
No.
Okay, well, that's who I thought they were.
They are Sky Bandits who Josh and Estelle threw in jail in the first game, have now escaped and are now helping Joshua out.
Oh, they're Riku's crew from Final Fantasy X. Gotcha.
Pretty much, yeah. There are 3-4 named ones, and then generic NPCs who fill in the scenes.
Sure, and you learn their names as you unlock the Albed alphabet, for sure.
So they never name her in this entire movie, but that blue-haired girl that he's talking to is Josette.
Right. Okay.
The big, gruff, adult-looking one is just her older brother, and then there's another one who's important who's the middle brother. Besides that, you have a bunch of background characters who actually get distinct looks compared to the singular sprite they used in the original games. I spotted there was Goggles, Mustache, Child, and Regular. So they're the Capuas, by the way. They are a disgraced noble family from another country.
Cool.
That lost all their money, and then this airship is all they have to their names.
So they took up banditry and outlawry.
And later on, they're going to become FedEx drivers.
Yeah.
Wow. Fall from grace.
Amazing stuff.
But they're off attacking a laboratory for some reason. It doesn't make sense because in the game it's the party who does this, not these guys who are still technically bad guys at this point.
Yeah, it just kind of seemed like they were stand-ins for the party in a flashback. You know what I mean?
Pretty much,
yeah. So they're running through it. He runs past a big dead robot that's...
Oh yeah, that was cool.
A thing that we can point out and go, ooh, and to you means absolutely nothing.
No, it was cool though.
That's a clone of the final boss from the first game. You fought
Hell yeah.
that big robot guy.
That's rad.
And all of this is really an excuse for Joshua to have an encounter, a confrontation with a green-haired character.
Who's this green-haired person? Any clues?
Okay, so no. And also, by this point in the scene, I had trouble figuring out if this was, like, present and currently happening or was a flashback to where Joshua was when he was missing.
Understandable.
This is present, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's meant to be present, but it could really be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very detached from the rest of the story.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up the green hair character, because what is their name?
Campanella.
Not Tommaso Campanella, the Italian philosopher, I imagine.
You know, it could be. There's a lot we don't know about Campanella, so I wouldn't put that past.
Try Campanella the Fool.
I got it. Oh, no, it was just really clear that she was, like, part of the organization. That she seemed, like, they seemed pretty high up.
Now, that was going to be my next question. What do you believe the gender presentation of this character is? So, read as femme presenting for you?
No, I'm sorry. No, very non-binary. Like, I don't mean to presume at all.
You're fine.
Look, I'm not trying to gotcha you or anything. It's just, this is a very much like a male presenting character unequivocally in the games.
Not exactly, because this is a theory. A major fan theory is that while this character uses he, him pronouns, there's also a lot of weird comments, like, you know, they'll make comments where they, like, go stand with the girls and they're like, oh, I forgot I didn't belong over here, or something like that. Like, there are some comments and some weird things, so it's a major fan theory that they're somebody else in disguise, or that there's something else going on, or that there's something going on gender-wise.
Yeah, and, like, gender-fucky, over-the-top, campy anime villain is a trope, so I didn't really question that either.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, 25 in One Piece that I could just rattle off, and I don't even watch One Piece, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's also interesting is in the games, this character presents younger as well. So is often referred to as boy or child or something like that, as opposed to, like, an adult. And I found in the show, they come across more androgynous adult as opposed to just a child who, like, you know, is prepubescent.
You know what else? Are you guys familiar with the works of Anne Leckie? She's a sci-fi author.
Yes, vaguely.
It strikes a chord, yeah.
I'm a big fan of hers. I am reading her most recent book, Radiant Star, and in that book, one of the cultures that is focused on has like boy as a separate gender ascribed to all children.
Oh, that's cool.
Like all children are boy, and then they pick a gender later when they reach adulthood.
That's cool.
So I'm very familiar with boy as gender.
That's really interesting. I know I've read some of her short stories, but I haven't read any novels.
Her novels are great, especially her first novel, Ancillary Justice, is incredible. All of them do, like, weird pronoun stuff as part of the prose, that if you are queer of any kind or interested in those things, you'd have a good time reading.
I'm queer and interested, so that works great. That's 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Yeah, I really enjoyed Campanella here because they have gone with like a more femme-sounding voice actor compared to what we've had in the games. And also the way the face was rendered was a lot softer, sort of rounded to imply more androgyny, which is interesting coming from a game in the early 2000s for an anime adaptation in like the late 2000s to early 2010s, which I wouldn't say that sort of non-binary representation was at its strongest in the early 2000s. So it's interesting that they've sort of leaned further in on that take when it's still to this day not sort of truly confirmed by the series, but definitely felt by fans.
Yeah, but also, like, again, like, this is a trope that goes back so long without being acknowledged in any way. Like, Kefka, or, like, what's that guy's name from Hunter x Hunter? He's, like, the villain of Hunter, like, in early Hunter x Hunter. He's, like, but, like, weird, non-binary, kind of femme, over-the-top, campy villain from Hunter x Hunter. People who've seen it who are going to know exactly who I'm talking about. I just can't remember their name.
What is interesting to me about it with Trail specifically is in recent games, they have actually leaned into, like, talking about characters not conforming to gender binary or sex binary. Stuff like that has actually become a more explicit topic and interesting in the most recent games.
Let's go.
So it is kind of, because I do think that you're probably right that in this early presentation, it is just following into that trope, but it does kind of suggest the lineage of them eventually saying, you know, maybe let's interrogate this a little more. Maybe let's actually like, and not just villainous characters either. Like the main character I'm thinking of is a heroic character, one of the main party members in recent games. So
I mean, we're going to talk about this on the Kingdom Hearts podcast eventually, but, like, there's a character that if you think about who they are very clearly a non-binary character, but, like, the narrative itself doesn't talk about that in any way, but I'm going to be talking about it.
You're going to shine a light on it?
I sure am! That was a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciated that we get a deeper dive because it feels like this was an animation made by people who really love the series. The number of times I spotted, like, even just like the architecture of certain locations is spot on to the games. There's a shot where they're flying over a town, Josh and the Capua's in an airship, and it's a top-down look at his hometown, like where he lived with Estelle. I'm just dropping a screenshot into the chat for it.
Thank you.
But it is literally the exact layout map of the games to the point where you can see the entire city and also sitting outside of town, Estelle and Joshua's house. So this is people who are paying attention and knew that the fans would pay attention when they told the middle third of this story really lovingly.
Yeah, and it's very funny, again, because of how it is so, like, full of Easter eggs, full of stuff from a fan perspective, but also so uninterested in, like, telling the story in a way that makes any sense if you don't...
Making sense.
Yeah, lingering in any way on anything.
No. But right, we also get the reveal of this giant airship that the organization has.
Big Red, yeah.
Big Red airship that's now ready to fly. And then we suddenly jump to a misty forest, I think, where people are asleep.
Yes.
Unexplained.
I don't know, was there not like a spell in the forest? I don't know, we're in JRPG land. I just assumed that there was a spell in the forest or something.
Yeah, there was. But we don't know how they got... They're just in the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm too savvy to, like, be confused by basic stuff of the story you tried to...
Oh no, you're all good on that. I just love that they jump right to the boss fight and don't give any of the, like, we're arrived in town to investigate this spell. Like, they're just in the middle of the final boss fight already.
Yeah.
There's a real narrative economy here.
That's true. That was interesting. I did expect there to be like, and they're gonna like go around and solve, and then I remembered that this isn't a 26 episode series that I watched over the course of a year. This is just a movie.
We jumped like 3 episodes to get to this scene, it seems like.
Yeah.
And the games are very episodic in structure, so it is really funny how non-episodic they actually, like, how much they just jump to the point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic episode of most animes where it's like, go to small town and investigate supernatural thing.
Yeah.
And it takes them 22 minutes, and then they fight a thing at the end.
But just the last bit, because it's time to meet another Legion enforcer, Luciola.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that they went the Italian pronunciation versus Luciola from the games. It makes her seem more interesting.
And from Last Exile, another airship anime.
Hell yeah. She has a top made out of chest binding tape and nothing else. How did we feel about Luciola?
Hold on, I'm looking just because the pictures are actually helping me remember who these characters are.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the Toxic X, right?
Oh, say more on that.
That was the sense I got, right? Wasn't there a showdown between her and Shara where they clearly knew each other and clearly had drama in the backstory? And, like, I didn't really need to know about that to know that they were going to fight about it. And it was going to be kind of hot.
True.
So yeah, in the game, they're adoptive sisters.
That doesn't preclude the thing I said, but fine.
Joshua and Estella are adoptive siblings, and they have a romance thing, but these two don't, apparently.
Gotcha.
Apparently.
Okay.
They're from the circus because Scheherazade is Romani allegory. She is part of a circus, and the head of the circus was a nice guy, but he got murked, and the circus fell apart. And then the thing that they imply where Shara's working something out during this fight, based on what Lucy's telling her, is that Lucy was the one who killed the dad of the circus and ended their entire happy life.
I did get that sense that there was like a deep betrayal, and Luciola was gonna go off and like get her ambitious bag, and that was the breakup, and like that's what I thought it was. They broke up over it.
She was a little bit in love with the leader of the circus, and he was like, "No, you're a young woman. That's not appropriate.
You're like my kid," so she kills him. She like pushes him off a cliff.
Did that happen in the movie?
No.
Okay.
They don't explain any of that.
I was too gay to assume a straight backstory. Sorry.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she comes in with this very, very, very dry energy. Like, the line delivery on Luciola, she's so sort of removed from the situation. She sounds like really pleasantly stoned at all times.
She's removed, she's self-assured, she sounds like so far removed, like that Shara's, like, nothing she can do could possibly affect her anymore, which is huge X energy.
It's really hot, too.
That's the energy you attempt to give to your ex, so you let them know that you don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
No, it is that. They really play that up in the OVA, too, because they in the games, they play more into Cher being a lot younger. Like, I think Cher was, like, 15, 16, and Lucy was, like, in her 20s when, like, this all fell apart, whereas they don't have that dynamic at all in the OVA. Like, they definitely changed that up.
Yes, and, I mean, generally anime age is detected by chest size, so they seem to be about the same age.
But I did find it so interesting that they cut out the Walter backstory stuff and they kept in the Luciola one, because in the game, Walter and Lucy are very much like parallel characters, like two of these characters who each have a backstory with one party member, and that kind of gives that one party member a chance to shine in the main story.
Yeah.
But they only kept hers in.
That makes sense for a JRPG where you want to take each of the party members and like explore a full arc with them. But like, again, like this, we just don't have the time. We got to keep moving.
I was just surprised they didn't cut this too, honestly.
Well, that said, like, again, like, Cher has energy, has like a magnetic energy about her character.
Yes.
Where like they do a good job sort of giving her depth, and then like you want to know more. So if they were going to choose one to keep over the other, I'm not surprised that they chose hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Especially because they cut out the character that Walter had backstory with. So like it
entirely.
And then we get an extended dream sequence from Estelle.
Yes, she gets affected by the mist, which is the first indication we have that the mist is doing literally anything.
Well, no, we know everyone else in town is asleep, but apparently until now Estelle was immune, and then suddenly loses that immunity.
So we get to see some shots of her home life.
So her mom's dead. Her dad is still alive, though, but her mom is dead, and the dream sequence is kind of tempting Estelle to stay there forever in a world where her mom is alive.
Okay.
So, yeah, in the real world, the 100 Days War that they've referenced a handful of times through the movie,
Yes.
her mum died during that. She was protecting Estelle while a building collapsed on top of them, and she was grievously injured and died shortly after. So Estelle's been without a mum since a few years before Josh got adopted by her dad. This may be the root cause of why Dad Bright is constantly adopting damaged children, because he needs to fill a hole in his heart.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah. So yes, we get a nice scene. Estelle's kind of falling into the dream. I love how they recreate the thing from the game where she just sort of transforms into a younger self as she kind of like seeps into the illusion more.
Yeah,
Oh, they do that in the game too? That's cool.
it's very cool. And then she finds the harmonica.
hmm Weirdly, she finds the harmonica, and then that makes her think to go looking for the harmonica, because she goes into another room and finds the harmonica in a box after looking at the harmonica she already had. So, dream logic? Not enough storyboarding? Who can say?
Yeah.
But she plays it, and it only takes one try to learn how to play harmonica perfectly, similar to the game. And she plays a song that hasn't really been established in the OVA yet, but in the game, Joshua used to play this song all the time.
No, but it was in the soundtrack though.
Yes, it was. Definitely.
Okay.
It sounds a lot like the theme from Castle in the Sky.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that's what it was. I was like, oh, and she's playing the theme song of the movie we're watching. Like, oh, that's cool. She's playing like the leitmotif.
But no, I think they have played it before they do play it before she plays it, at least once, maybe twice.
There's at least some excerpts from it, because she'd previously referred to it as a completely different name to what it's called. Like, this is one of the beloved songs because it's a plot pivotal tune in the games. It's all about their relationship.
Where the Stars Are is what she called it. It's called The Whereabouts of Light in the game.
Oh, those are very different. And I feel like the fans would know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, yes. I was like, no, you can't. That's like one of the few things. Like, Estelle, Josh, Whereabouts of Light.
Josh.
But she knocks it out of the park. I'm sure that I would have the same experience if I had a harmonica here. It's just too bad that I don't.
Oh, man. I also forgot my harmonica. Wow, geez. That's such bad luck. Oh, no.
Me too, Dad.
But Estelle's able to break out of the dream because she remembers that Josh is a thing when she finds the second harmonica and plays it.
Yeah, the power of love. The power of love snaps her out of the spell. She loves that boy.
Classic stuff.
Yeah, she remembers sitting and watching Josh play this song a lot as a child, which sounds really sweet until you translate it into our reality and think, would this be just like him playing Wonderwall nonstop for their entire childhood?
Yeah.
Just anyway, he's wonderwalling this girl until she has no choice but to fall in love with him.
Middle school boys have to figure out a strategy to kiss middle school girls somehow.
This is true.
That are also their sister, kind of.
Yeah. It's don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all good. Well, we finish this up, and then we get kind of a weird plot sequence where Estelle gets a letter, gets very excited, and is running off to a tower. It all happens in quick succession. I was kind of confused, and I've played the game.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what was happening.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like orders or like a personal letter that I just had another character with no context for, or...
So it's a letter purportedly from Joshua, saying, here, come meet me at this tower. But they don't communicate that at all. But it turns out to be a trap by Ren. But Estelle thinks that Joshua's finally reached out to chat with her.
Mm-hmm. She also only takes the girl child, Tita, as backup for this mysterious letter. And even on the way there, Tita's like, this is a bad idea. Have you not seen a movie?
Do they have movies?
Not yet, but they soon.
Okay.
Yeah, they will. There's future games where one of the things you do in your downtime during different parts of the game is just go to the movies with your party so that you get to be better friends.
That's really cute.
And you get to see like one scene that's like voice acted and has like some CGs and stuff, like riffing on different genres. It's quite fun.
Followed by a full movie review from the party members you chose to take. So yeah, they like movies.
Very cute.
It's really cute.
But at this point, we go to the Jade Tower, which is another rename. Interestingly, the original games call it the Esmelis Tower, which is like their name for green magic crystal.
Like emerald, yeah.
Okay.
Then in the remakes, they renamed it to Jade Tower anyway, so this actually aligns with the current vision, where they simplified it because cool names are too much for a modern audience, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, the tower, when they show the inside shots of it, it is laid out exactly the same as the incredibly confusing dungeon tower in the games, which I appreciated because I spent a lot of time lost in that tower.
Well, another thing that they knew the fans, like, if we spend any amount of time in here, they're going to know if it's wrong, because they spent a lot of time in here.
It makes me feel a little bit unwell to have looked at that shot, see the different layout of paths coming off of a central platform and be like, I recognize that. I shouldn't recognize that.
But Shell makes it to the top, where seems to be Joshua waiting for her, except he turns around and his head falls off.
Yeah, it's like a mannequin.
Yep.
Exactly. You fight one of these in the game.
What are they? They're like the mimes from Claire Obscure? What are they? Like
Kind of like that.
It's just another thing that Ren can do. She has a scythe, she has a giant robot mum-dad, and also she can make marionette puppets of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a skilled child. And we've seen her do this with, like, she's done this before where we think we've watched her murder someone and it turned out to be a puppet. It's not clear if Ren is the one who makes these or if somebody else in the organization makes them and she just, like, uses them for fun and games.
No, someone else in the organization has to be in charge of making the puppets. You need someone in charge of the puppet program and someone in charge of the memory erasure program.
We do have a doll maker as a major figure who will show up later. We do have a big doll maker.
Okay.
It's all coming together.
They got a lot of resources here.
The fight on top of this tower does not go well, though. Ren kidnaps Estelle and flies away with her in a big robot.
Yeah.
And we get to go to the big red airship, the Glorious. Because that's what it is.
Yeah, I love an airship.
I love an airship.
Actually, I do love an airship. I ran a Dungeons & Dragons campaign for my wife and several of our friends for like 7 years where they were like an airship crew. It was cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, you're in good company because these games are all about airships.
Yeah.
They love them. There was also a shot earlier on when Josh and the Capules were escaping in their little airship where you saw the comparative scale between these two because their airship is so small that it gets buffeted by the flippers at the bottom of this airship.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
I mentioned it before. If you really like airships and you haven't seen it, Last Exile is so airshipy. If you like airships, it's about like these guys who have like a little racer messenger airship, and it's just a full world of airships. Like they don't ever touch the ground.
Awesome.
Oh, fun. Yes, I will check that out.
But yes, for I guess some full circle, the titular trails in the sky are the trails of the airships.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Airship chemtrails is what it's all about.
Well, and that also reminds me of Grandia 3, where the main character was a pilot.
Yeah.
I was so sure you were going to say airship for a second. I don't know why.
The main character was an airship.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, that's ancillary justice, but that's a different thing.
Amazing.
Oh, so much content to consume out there. On the Glorious, though, we get to meet another guy, a grey-haired dude in a trench coat. Lo, or Louvet.
Yeah, we had seen him before? I thought we saw him before.
We'd seen him, but our heroes had not met him yet.
Gotcha, yeah, he was lurking in the background, anime villain style. Yeah, he's high up in the organization. I got a sense of him right away. He was like the ultimate guy, or like a very high up guy. Yeah,
this is who Matt and I call Dollar Store Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Lovingly.
99-cent winged angel, sorry.
No, that's better than what we ever did. Love it. Here, 99 cents is referred to as the Sword Emperor. His title in the games is the Blade Lord, but I actually think Sword Emperor sounds way cooler.
Blade Emperor is pretty good.
They snapped with that one.
That's also like the Trigun guy, Thousand Knives.
Yeah, he's the best at sword in the whole game, apparently. And he just is there. He's kind of a quiet guy.
He's just chilling.
Do you have any sense of this guy from what you've seen of him?
Like, in his particulars? No, I got the sense, like, I really was just trying to apply, like, everything I've seen from previous animes. So, like, yeah, I got the sense that he was very much, like, actually, this is a weird comp, like, the Gideon Graves of it. You know, like, he's, like, the sort of mastermind high up in the organization, sort of manipulating all the people below him to generally go out and do the goal. Like, kind of the Xemnas type. Maybe it was just the gray hair.
I mean, to an extent, yeah. In the first game, he is a masked secondary villain who's kind of the driving force behind a lot of the bad stuff going on in that first game. There was a coup d'etat. The entire town was almost taken over by misogyny.
Explicitly, that's the bad guy was misogyny.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The country is led by a queen, and a bunch of men were upset that men didn't have more power, so they tried to take over the country, literally.
Well, I would say many such cases, but there's never been a case, because when did women ever hold the power in the first place? No such cases.
So yeah, he was around in the first game, but you didn't really learn his identity till maybe 20 to 45 minutes before Joshua got his backstory back and did his amnesia kiss.
Right.
But he has backstory with Joshua as well. He's also the only one in the movie who calls him Joshua as opposed to Josh, which I find to be a very funny distinction.
I found that very comparable to the fact that in The Matrix, Agent Smith only ever calls Neo Mr. Anderson. I thought that's what was going on there.
Yeah, because he even says it in the face of people saying Josh in conversation. He's very particular about it, which, yeah, an interesting take on him.
Something I found interesting about him is that I think that they are kind of combining him here with a character from the games who is in the opening credits of of this anime, but never actually appears in it. True. Which is the character Weissman, who is sort of the puppet master of a lot of these characters, the one who programmed Joshua to be an assassin, and the one who made him spy on Estelle's family, all this stuff. And he's also kind of got the seniority over Lo, whatever we're going to call him, with a really tense relationship. But because they've cut him completely out of the anime, they've kind of raised Lo up to having that role or that vibe.
Yeah.
Again, the narrative economy of it all.
Yeah, because Weissman is these guys, the Legion, are kind of the free agents who do whatever the hell they want under the society. Sorry, the organization. And then he's the next tier up, which is management. He's an Anguis.
Yeah. Sure.
And dresses like a disco priest.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the characterization of Louve is missing because it's based on the interaction between the two of them. Weissman is for real evil. He's programming assassin children. Mm-hmm. In contrast, Louve is shown to be a bit more reluctant about following through on some of these evil tasks. He's at a remove from society, but he's also not full evil, so he's much like his hair, he's in a gray zone.
Sure. Well, they cut some of the reluctance, but they also cut some of the evil tasks. So, that I guess that evens out.
This is true.
Trimmed both sides.
Yeah.
We get this scene where Lo tells Estelle his backstory with Joshua, complete with flashbacks about the town of Harmel, I think is what they call it in the game.
Harmel, yes.
Sorry, Harmel in the show, Harmel in the game. Just for everyone listening, trying to keep track of the different names for everything. And yeah, we get this backstory.
Yeah, the part where he's a child assassin. See, I did know that. I did get that part.
Yes.
They kind of show enough to get context for what their backstory is. They lived in a town together and they were friends and hung out. There's a girl there who they don't refer to at all, who is Josh's older sister.
Who isn't Josh's sister at this point?
No one.
We are all Josh's sisters. She's the original owner of the harmonica, so he has it as a memento of her because she dies in the invasion of the city, which is also when Joshua becomes a killer, which I don't think they cover in the games, him actually murdering someone as a child.
They do.
Oh, they do. Okay.
There's an accident. They also show his dog get killed, which was unnecessary.
Yeah, they do kill the dog in this one. It's unfortunate. You don't need to see a little dead puppy.
It's so sad. Oh yeah, but we do get the information that this was kind of a false flag operation by the Empire to create a pretext to start this war. That this town was in the Empire, and they had people dressed like soldiers from the kingdom come and attack it as a pretext to then invade the kingdom.
Oh.
So they very briefly explain that, but there's a lot going on the screen while they're explaining it in the shortest, briefest summary possible, so I'm not sure it actually communicates any of that.
Thank you so much. You're being so gracious for the fact that I guess wasn't paying attention to this movie as I watched it.
I got confused watching this thing, and I have played these games many times. I have encyclopedic knowledge of this stuff, and I was still what is this again? A lot of the time. So you are really fine.
Okay.
It really feels like it would have benefited from those movie fact pop-ups on screen saying when they say empire, what they're actually fucking talking about is this other country. By the way, this is the country we're currently in, just for context.
Tool tips. The liberal kingdom. I got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They go a bit back and forth on the pronunciation. This is liberal without an A in the games.
The kingdom of the libs.
Yeah.
Wow.
They really wanted to own the libs here.
They really wanted to own the libs.
So yeah, that was the backstory, and then afterwards he says, "So anyway, that's the backstory. Go back to your prison room, Estelle." She's on her way back when she starts quizzing Ren about, hey, he said that all you guys have trauma and that's why you're in the organization. What's your trauma? And we get some brief flashes of backstory in sort of still images from Ren, and I'm almost afraid to ask, what did you think was happening there?
Nope. This is the point where I was fully like, yeah, man, whatever. I didn't even know those two things were related. Like, I didn't put it together. They were really the pacing of this.
Yeah.
Especially as it went on.
It's frantic. It really feels like they were counting down the minutes till they had to stop making the show at this point.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So we get a very, 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 very brief flash of Ren's backstory here, which is that she was kidnapped or something as a child.
She was trafficked.
Unwillingly in a house of ill repute. Yes. So she is a child sexual assault victim.
Yeah. Which they handle surprisingly sensitively in the games, a lot more than you would expect. But here they just give some flashes to be like shocking and then just carry on.
Yeah, I also had a really hard time, again, trying to figure out the timeline of it, because she didn't, I feel like she didn't look hugely younger, because she always looks young. I didn't really know when or what was happening.
They had basically the exact same model, I mean, not model, but you know what I mean, for her. She looks the same in those flashes, whereas in the game, the little bit you see does clearly look younger, so it's clear that this is at least a few years of a flashback.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the issue is that there's that one shot of her undressed with scars all over her body, and to kind of sell how affecting this is, they have kind of rendered her with more of a suggestion of a feminine physique.
It's not great.
Than she would have as a child that young. It's to kind of indicate what it's about, but it does kind of muddy the waters at the same time. And also,
we didn't need that.
They don't even explain this backstory until the third game, so this comes after this point in the story, games-wise.
Neato.
Yeah. It's also how she met Joshua and Lo. They have another shot sort of later on of them breaking through a wall and finding her in that state. And basically, they were already in the organization by this point a few years ago. They track down this location, find that it's a sex trafficking thing, and basically go through, murder everybody in the building, rightly so, until they find Ren.
Who is the only victim still alive? They're not killing the other victims. Just to be clear, the other ones, they're either not there anymore or passed away. She's the only living victim when they find the place.
She's the last one remaining, and he has this moment of clarity where he's like, oh, I want to save this kid and see what she's like when she's able to actually fully be alive and present. And that was the turning point where he then, a little while after that, got adoptioned by Estelle's dad. So this is the first seed of him wanting to maybe see what it's like to be a person instead of a weapon. Not that we cover any of that in great detail in this animation.
And again, trying to figure out the sequence of all of these things, the movie wasn't helping me, is what I'll say.
No, I think it might make it worse than just hearing about it, honestly. But yeah, this sort of prompts discussion with Ren. Ren has also been instructed to give Estelle back the harmonica. And Ren's kind of thrown off by Estelle asking about her trauma, upset about it, also wants to know why Estelle wants this harmonica. Estelle says something about this harmonica. It's kind of like Joshua's heart, and she's holding on to it for a while so she can give it back to him. And apparently this seems to move Ren, because Ren is like, how are you able to be so positive all the time? Tries to threaten Estelle out of being positive, and Estelle stays positive. So Ren decides to let her try to escape.
Something's clicked through, and she's just like, all right, you can get away. I do like in this same scene where she's forced to hand back the harmonica, you get kind of shots of her being more childish, because she's kind of represented as the child genius murder assassin replacement for Josh. The way she kind of just thrusts the harmonica back at Estelle and huffs and stuff, it's very much a kid shining through, so they give her a little bit of depth there, even though we don't have time for anyone to have character.
No. we're just moving right along.
But in Estelle's escape through the ship, I do really like there's a shot where she's running up a staircase. Again, an exact recreation of part of the map in the dungeons. Also, when she's talking to Ren, there's these weird things on the ground in the airship floor, which is like electric gates that come up to block parts of the dungeon as you're working through it in the game. Didn't need to be there for the animation at all, but they just had it there so I could be like, laser grids.
Oh, that's why that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big like 3-point target things.
Yeah.
But yeah, she runs up the stairwell. One of the robots, the archaisms, we never hear that word, don't worry about it, goes off and it's like blaring an alarm and she says, "Shut up!" and kicks it off the staircase.
Yeah, that was great.
Which is perfect Estelle.
Meanwhile, we get to see Joshua getting onto this airship, and seemingly his plan is just to blow the whole thing up. And he encounters Lo here, and they have a
sick fight.
A sick fight, yeah.
Sick fight.
They're talking way too much in this fight. I've noticed something in the translation, maybe because they were trying to match the mouth flaps. There's a lot of characters repeating lines. Like, Estelle at one point is like, "There's no way I would do that. No way at all." And we didn't need that.
That's a mouth flap thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, it's like extending past the end of shots and stuff. And it's like, you didn't really have to do all that, but I appreciate it. In between talking, they do get some cool fight animation. They're like flipping around like girders in the structure of the airship and stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to say the talking that they're doing seems to be a fight over whether Ouroboros can achieve the goals, Ouroboros being the organization, can achieve the goals that Lo wants it to achieve. And Josh was like, "It won't do anything. You can't change the world this way." And Lo doesn't agree. Mischa, do you have any idea what the goal of this organization is or what they're trying to do at all?
I mean, I got the sense that they were a radical faction that was not happy with the status quo. I don't really know why. Or what how they had been wronged.
So it's been 13 games. We still don't really know what they want either.
Okay,
but we know their micro goal in this game, and it's not alluded to at all in this movie. But we still kind of don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, for this entire arc of games, they were talking about the gospel plan. Gospel being those weird mechanical things they've been attaching to all these experiments. The thing with the big creepy eyeball that was on the tree in the Mist Forest, for example.
Yes.
That's just another Magic Pocket Watch, but ancient and special.
Mm-hmm.
They've been testing to see what they can do with it. And then at the end of that, they say, "We completed the gospel plan. Now on to the next plan." And it's part of a bigger plan that we aren't saying anything about yet.
Okay.
So the goal in this game is to do Castle in the Sky and bring back an ancient floating city in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big ship.
We don't.
No? Different thing. Sorry.
It doesn't show up at all in this anime.
No.
In any way. They don't refer to it. They don't anything.
Okay, great. Move on.
Yeah, they basically stop this animation right before the end run of the game where all the events culminate. So
great. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we get to see a cool fight, and that's pretty cool. Eventually, Estelle runs into them and tries to defend Joshua for having an opposing viewpoint to Lo. I love that one of her lines was, "Josh was brave in his cowardice."
Oh my god, that line. That one. I literally, I was really, my friends, thank you so much for inviting me onto your show where we talk about this thing. But I was really trying to hang in there, and that was the
so
line
bad.
that made me go, fucking what?
It was so bad.
The way he ran away was so brave.
There's a part of me that feels such guilt over this being your introduction to this series because it is such a bad introduction to it.
Well, I will say I didn't take it as out of line because Estelle was really like in a dumb girl character mode, and I was like, yeah, that is what a dumb girl would say.
Yeah.
I felt bad for feeling that way, but I was like, fucking, what are you talking about?
She has a lot of ditzy moments, and especially the first game, but they dumb her down in this movie too. I would say quite significantly.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it almost like a lot of the time we see competent on the ball Estelle. She's still a kid, but this does feel like just child shining through.
Again, the reason I was so surprised when you were like, and she's in charge, I was like, what do you mean?
I know.
Yeah. Man, I love it. She's like, yeah, he ran away, and that's okay. I love that he's a little bitch boy, actually. And that's great, and we should support him in it.
Yeah.
Lo is very definitively like, what? No.
What?
Yeah.
Like, that's not the compliment you think it is, Estelle. Like, Estelle is in the game such a good character, and it's because she, by the time the equivalent of this is happening, she's had this huge character arc and, like, developed dramatically and, like...
matured a lot, yeah.
Really grown up and all this stuff. And this is, like, dumber than the first time we meet her at her most naive. Like, it's far below that. It's really wild. They really leaned into the comedy of it at the expense of the rest of her character traits.
Yeah.
And then we have sort of the culminating moment on the top deck of the Glorious, where they find themselves cornered not just by Lo, but also a bunch of soldiers. And I think maybe some of the other Legion show up at this point as well. Do they make Luciola and they make a cameo appearance or something?
I don't really remember. I think so, but I could be imagining that.
Yeah, that was the point where I was like, wait a minute, they have armies? I thought this was like a clandestine group of 15 people. Okay. I was really confused about the scope of this organization.
Yeah, all of the misogynists who helped with the coup d'etat in the first game lost their government jobs and basically just joined the organization as grunts instead.
Gotcha.
And they got super soldiered or something in that lab that Joshua and the airship people were breaking into.
Mm-hmm.
We did not cover that at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
In this moment, you think we're going to have like a big final cool fight against all these gathered forces on the deck, and then Joshua says, no, actually it's okay, Estelle, yeet, and they just jump off the side of the airship.
Yeah.
We do get a very cool like mid-air catch from the Bobcat, the little Capua's airship. I really like that shot of them sort of falling, where Stella's literally terrified. She's like, what the fuck?
As the ship continues to blow up with all these bombs Joshua's planted.
Oh, yeah. Mid-explosion. Then they get a cool flying moment with lots of really like rushing sound effects. I appreciated the effort there before they get caught off the top of the Bobcat and dropped onto the deck. Just like, let's do more cool airship in the airships game, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. We've been saved by the airship and from the airship by the airship. And Joshua and Estelle are standing up again, and Estelle says, I have something to return to, and gives them back the harmonica, and is like, and something else, and she leans in for the kiss.
We finally get confirmation in this movie of what the harmonica's about for realsies, because they just didn't really make the connection a lot of the time. It's like, hey, here's a harmonica.
Yep. Well, once again, I'm coming from Kingdom Hearts, where there is also an object that the main character and his love interest keep passing back and forth to cement their bond between each other. So, I was not thrown. The fact that it was a harmonica, sure, it could be any object, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a talisman, really.
Exactly.
And as far as this animation goes, that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing is solved.
There's like 4 chapters left of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, on to episode 12, right? No? Okay.
They just end it.
And then they never made another animation again for this entire arc. Ever.
Wild. Why did they make the middle?
It is so nonsensical. And it's supposed to be like a celebration. Like, it's clearly made for fans rather than like to try and like bring new people into the franchise, but also it's still wild.
Is the middle one the best one that everybody likes the most?
This isn't even the middle game. This is a chunk in the middle of a game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I guess they've kind of pulled the bits that people liked the most from the second game, except for any of the ending.
Yeah, except for the last like 4 chapters.
We got to see most of the characters, if not actually hear from them or learn anything about them. At least one party member, Kevin, the green-haired priest, is not in the movie entirely, even though he plays a pivotal role.
Kevin, the green-haired priest!
He's the main character of the 3rd game, too, and he's just gone. He's a green-haired priest who loves sneakers and fishing. And is also, and he's like 22. Like, he's not like an old priest. He's like a young guy.
Yeah, he's the only character in the entire franchise to be depicted with a Bostonian accent, and I love it.
Yes.
The entire 3rd season of our show that's been about his game, we've ended every episode with a voice clip of him going, "It's over!"
It's over!
In the most Bostonian anime voice you can possibly get. So it's a pity that he missed out on this episode, which it's OVA.
It is. How long have you been waiting on that one?
All time. The whole time.
Okay.
Sometimes when you're prepping the episode, you think of a line and you just need to save it.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean?
Correct.
Absolutely. We also missed, he, at one point we see him teaching Sunday school and he's just reading a popular YA franchise to the kids. Like, that's his energy.
Awesome.
He's really sorely missed, yeah.
Sorely missed.
At the end of this animation, Mischa, how do you feel about trails as a concept?
Oh, God.
I feel like I want to go back for the first 8 episodes, for sure. I think it would be really interesting if I had the whole story from the beginning. I would be really invested in these characters. I would understand some of the references as the show continues, and by episode 23, I'll be invested. Oh, you mean this is it? There's nothing? No? Okay, well, there you go.
No more.
That's kind of how I feel, is that like I had to attribute these things to knowledge of other stories because I was very clearly getting an incomplete story and I had to figure it out somehow. But it sounds like you guys don't even have the complete stories. What do you mean you don't have the villain's main motivation after 13 games?
We have a lot of so it isn't, the thing is that there's layers of villains, right? And so it's like who's in charge of them and who's in charge. And so we know a lot about their purposes, but there's a major mystery surrounding the head of the organization still that's been very doled out slowly.
Yeah.
But we have learned a lot of major villains, major motivations over the course of the arcs. But
okay.
There's a motivation for the arc, and then there's a motivation for the whole series. And we know the motivation for each arc, but the overarching kind of series-wide motive of the leader is still shrouded in mystery, though clearer than it's ever been before.
Yeah, you're sounding like Kingdom Hearts fans now.
Oh, you think that's bad? Wait till you hear the fact that we, to date, have not understood the identity of everyone in the organization already. And before we got to the end of understanding everyone, recently in the last few games, they went, BTW, we hired like 10 more Legion people, so there's just more guys for you to meet.
You gotta meet the previous guys first!
No.
Well, they have to hit 22 for the tarot deck because they're each associated with a tarot card,
right.
one of the arcana.
24 for a tarot deck? Major arcana? 0 to 23?
Yeah, 23, sorry. We haven't met the 23rd yet, I don't think.
And Campanella, the androgynous NB, is number 0, the Fool.
Right, just like in a tarot deck. I wonder if there's a mod to put these people into Balatro.
That would be sick.
There's enough sickos out there, I could see it happening.
Someone should make that.
But this has been a really weird introduction to the series.
It sure has. Thank you for walking me through it. I think it's pretty clear at this point. I really needed someone to walk me through it.
Yeah.
Well, and thank you for being a good sport about getting the worst possible introduction to this series. I do feel guilty that this series that is known for its storytelling and world building, and you got the intro with the least of all of that.
No, the world is very cool. Like I said, so like I'm a Full Metal Alchemist fan, so like this seemed to like have the intricacy between magic and technology that sort of that franchise like also had a good sense of, had a good vibe of. I see the nuggets. I see why you would fall in love with this world, but the story that was happening to these characters was not helping.
It made no sense.
Well, based on that tasting plate of plot that you received, could you see yourself wanting to play a Trails game after that?
And there's a demo that's like 10 hours.
Yes, I think so. Well, I heard the recent remake was really good, and so I want to give that a shot.
Definitely, yeah. As I said, there's a prologue demo, which is the entire first chapter of the game. It's like 6 to 10 hours if you really want to do it.
Okay.
That is free on every platform, and it is a gorgeous sort of, I say like a cozy scale RPG because it's pretty
great.
Small focus. And you can talk to every single person and they all have a backstory because everyone has a continuous history in this world, even across games.
Amazing. Well, I'm slowly working my way. Since we recorded our episode together, Matt, about JRPGs, I learned so much more about how, like, the specific types of JRPGs out there. So I'm slowly working my way through. So Trails is right there. I'm very excited about it.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
How exciting. We got another one.
Well, you have to keep us posted if and when you ever get there. Very excited to hear what you think about the information that was left out that we haven't even mentioned yet.
Well, and it would be so difficult to fit any JRPG into.
Oh, for sure. Oh, God, yeah.
Like, there's a reason all of them are 50 hours, you know? It's because they need the lexical density.
They sure do. I love the optimistic image of years from now playing the second chapter remake as well and finally going, oh, that's what that was about.
Oh, that's that guy.
That's why earthquakes and mist and centaur. Ah.
I don't, it's 2026. I don't even question a robot centaur at this point.
We got bigger fish to fry.
It's over.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this very confusing episode, Mischa. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
And why don't you tell everyone where else they can find you on the internet or the Orbal net, as
The Orbal net. Oh my god. Well, you can find me at X, the Orbly thing at. No, that's a bad joke. Cut that.
The Aubrey thing act?
Yeah, it was bad. Editor, cut this.
We will never cut out a bad pun. I keep them all.
You can find me, I'm on Instagram at Mischa, etc. I am on the internet at mischastanton.com. You can check out a lot of my podcast work at multitudeshows.com, which also hosts Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast, available wherever podcasts are had.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Oh, and congratulations, by the way, on your recent 1-year anniversary of the start of Simple and Clean.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we just hit a year of weekly episodes talking about one game. We're doing great. We're not even close to done, especially because D23 is next week, and so they might announce stuff. I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah.
It's good eats as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I gotta say.
It's really shining through you.
I still cannot believe that Nintendo Direct just dropped that trailer.
We just dropped after 4. Yeah, listen, we get hype over on it. Seriously, we get hype about it. We have an episode about that on Simple and Clean. We have an episode about every character, every world, every lore concept, and a whole bunch of other stuff besides. It's a good time. It's really good for newcomers to the franchise. It's good for people who have loved the thing for 20 years but still don't understand what's going on in it. I'm sure you can't relate to that.
No.
Yeah, it's just a good time and like effusive love for a weird thing. So if you enjoy shows about two friends loving a weird thing that they love, I think you should check us out.
I don't think our listeners have ever had any enjoyment for that. So
Many such cases.
Many such cases.
I am one of the people who loves to listen to the show, and I love the question format you guys do for the title, because I never know what it's going to be from one episode to the other, because you guys jump around in a way that we don't, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
You never know what it's going to be. Sometimes it just says, what is magic?
Well, I take a very, wiki approach to it, where, if you're on the page for Keyblade, there's gonna be 4 other links that you could follow, and, one of them is this, and one of them is that, and so, each episode tries to be a new page in the wiki of the thing.
I love that.
Yeah. Also, smart, because if someone out there is Googling, what is magic in Kingdom Hearts, that episode's gonna come up. SEO.
Yeah, and that's how you can tell I've been a professional podcast producer for 10 years.
Sure is.
I love being on podcasts. Thanks for having me, you guys. It's been a treat.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
As usual, you can find us on the OrbalNet at TrailsPod on Twitter / the Everything app, the Orberything app, sorry.
The Orberything app!
And Blue Sky and Instagram. And you can send us an email at trails2trails@gmail.com. You can find us and all of our fellow shows at the Worst Garbage Network on theworstgarbage.online. And you can also just yell at us in our Discord, as always, because that's, God knows, we're usually yelling in there.
Yeah, no doubt that place will also be going off with any Kingdom Hearts news at D23, because we have plenty of Kingdom Hearts sickos on the roster. Brackets affectionate.
Sickos, join us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've taken up a lot of your time. Thanks so much for sticking around longer than expected. This has been really fun.
You got it. My pleasure.
Until next time, I've been Lex.
I've been Matt.
And I've been Mischa.
And we'll see you next time on the trail. They said the thing.
Cue Kevin.
It's over!
Wouldn't be the first time I've broken bones for the content. That's going to be my bit today.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to know how you generated the foley in some of your past shows, if that's the case.
Okay, I have used my skeleton as a Foley object in podcasts before. That
Really?
Some of those are my real bone sounds. Some of them are not, but some of them are.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't make my joke into a true fact like that. What are you talking about?
I know. Well, that's what happens when you're the only podcast on the internet with a fight choreographer on staff. Sometimes you gotta make stuff.
Damn.
That's commitment. That's pretty cool.
That's fun to know. Oh my god, okay.
All right.
TWG, the worst garbage, online.